Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have you guys ever wondered how locally roasted coffee is made? Today on Amanda and Felix Eats, we'll be taking you guys along with us to Kai Coffee Roastery here on Kapahulu. We'll be showing you guys the whole process, how their coffee beans go from this to this. What's going on, Foodie Ohana, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're taking you guys along with us to a local coffee shop that roasts and brews their own coffee.
We're super excited to feature this iconic local business.
So let's get roasting.
Hi, my name is Sam Suter. I'm the founder and owner of Kai Coffee Hawaii. We started our company in 2014. We're just hitting our 10-year mark. Yeah, May 15th, 2014. My family started Honolulu Coffee Company in 1990. I was 11, and that was my start in actually working in coffee. We had the fortune of traveling a lot as kids. We went to Europe several times. Really fell in love with the European coffee culture. I was very young, but I worked in the industry. Loved it. I had worked on and off in the industry that entire time. At that time, I was running a lot of the retail locations. My brother was the primary owner and sold it in 2008. It was a bit of a surprise, but it was a good thing for me. I was really kind of a corporate position, a lot to learn from that situation. I did that for about almost 5 years, but at that point I just really realized that coffee wasn't about a corporation. Coffee was about, number one was the interpersonal relationships, the customer service, connecting with people socially, but with coffee. I really just wanted more of a family-run business. My wife supported me during that time. She was working another job. I got that location at the Hyatt, built it out in about 2 weeks. It was an existing location. Went through the process of understanding that I didn't know anything about business. So there was a big learning curve in areas that I got that. And then it just has continued to grow. We've had a lot of great opportunities building customer service, building a quality product, and building really beautiful locations. We sell a lot of roasted coffee, our house blend, and obviously our local coffees. I would say the Kona Peaberry and the Kai House blend for beans. And then we're really well known for our Kai Latte, which is the macadamia nut syrup, made by a local chef, excellent quality. Those are probably the 3 top sellers. Our original location in the lobby of the Hyatt Regency. We also have a location at Waikiki Shopping Plaza on the ground level. Our other flagship store is at the Aloha Resort. We have a new location in Kalama Valley in Hawaii Kai. Here at Kapahulu is our roastery. There's a walk-up window. I work with an amazing company called Nalomeli Honey. She does some really amazing honeys for us. We collaborate with another local company called Pono Potions, who does our macadamia nut syrup. We've always collaborated with Big Island coffee roasters. We've collaborated with some artists for different things. Mike Faria produced a really amazing coffee region graphic for us that we put on t-shirts. So guys, we have another shipment coming in. So we're kind of getting towards the tail end of our green coffees. These are our coffees that go into the espresso and the house blend. Our local coffees are going to be all over on this palette. Much smaller scale. The local coffees I carry are Kona and Ka'u region. In my roasting experience, for me, these are the prime areas in Hawaii where I feel that the growing conditions are the most optimal to get the best result. A very specific area called the Kona Belt there. Consistent weather patterns, consistent soil. So we have a few different Konas. We have what's called Kona Extra Fancy, officially referred to as 19 screen. There's different grades of Kona. This is the largest and the most developed. You'll see a lot of uniformity. Just really beautiful, clean looking coffee. It's graded by size, shape, lack of deformities. Can't have deformities in the coffee.
So what's considered a deformity?
A chip.
A chip on the bean.
A crack, very picturesque, same size, same shape, and then none of those flaws, I guess you'd call them. And then we have Kona Peaberry, which is a favorite of ours. We'll taste that today on the cupping table. All coffees do have what's called a peaberry. Coffee grows in a little cherry-like looking, it's actually not technically a cherry, but it looks like a cherry, but it's a little round fruit. Typically you have 2 in there, so you have that flat side. With the peaberry, that fuses together, and it's just one little smaller bean. What it does for flavor, you guys, it concentrates it. So it takes sweetness, acidity, body, and puts it into one bean. So you get a concentrated more direct flavor. I like to refer to the pea berry as a dessert coffee, and then the extra fancy as kind of a morning coffee. It was considered a deformity before, but now it's about 2% of the entire crop is pea berry, so it's highly sought after. This is another really amazing growing region on the Big Island, Ka'u. It's actually the largest region on the Big Island. A little bit lower elevation than Kona, mainly affects like the density of the coffee. A little bit less dense than Kona. It's what we put into our house blend. All of this coffee I get in Hawaii, these are all my friends. These are people that I know personally, and I know how they treat the coffee. I know how much they care about it. This is Ka'u Typica. I definitely think this is really just a well-balanced, excellent body, great sweetness as well. Then we'll bring in some special coffees. One of the coffees we're gonna taste today as well is another Kona that has a slightly different process. Most coffee is wet processed. Okay, what that means is it's washed. There is some coffee in the world that is machine harvested, but we deal with farms that are going to be hand picking. You want it to be right. The machine doesn't know if it's right? So machine pick coffee in large production does work. I don't roast any myself. The main process for that is going to be a ripe cherry, and then it's immediately processed. So it's stripped of the fruit, the mucilage, taken all the way down to the green coffee I just showed you there, and it's stored that way. That's going to bring clean, bright, different, and it also is good for storage. From a labor intensive standpoint as well, it's efficient for farmers. So we bring in special coffees, holiday times, or if they're just available. Our friends will be like, hey, we want to do this. You want to, yeah, let's bring it on. That's this coffee here. I want you guys to smell this. Real clean, uniform, delicious, sweet.
Ooh, you can actually smell the sweetness.
Absolutely. And that's that drying process. That's what that does to it. And then when you roast it, the nuances of different fruit and sweetness are unbelievable. You guys will taste it today. And you guys can just see on the scale, we typically have it anywhere between 20 and 40 bags. These are coffees from around the world. So if I were to take these coffees, guys, we're looking at they average around $30 a pound green. I can get really great coffee from Brazil, Nicaragua, Colombia for between $3 and $5 a pound. So if I were to take this and roast all of the coffee in my stores, I mean, my lattes would be like $12. For our espresso and our house blend, we bring in all these, and we call them blender coffees. Quality's fantastic. It's just economically viable. If I could roast all Kona, that would be amazing. I couldn't keep up with the demand, and as well as I would have to, the cost is just exponentially different. Right here we have a Brazil. Really nice, solid coffee that's worked for us for years. You'll see the difference. Remember how those Konas look, right? It's a little drier. This is one of our body coffees. So when you build a blend, you're building a pyramid. You start with your body here, then you get into your, I want to bring some chocolate notes. I want to bring in some nutty notes. I want some fruit. I want to top it off with some kind of acidity that I like. The next one is going to be Nicaragua, right there. Nicaragua. This is a little bit more of we want to get some fruit notes and some great acidity. This is a really great coffee. A little bit cleaner than the Brazil, not sorted. So these coffees are not sorted. They're graded, but they're not sorted. You'll see a lot of different beans in there, guys. Lots of different shapes. Right here we have a coffee from Myanmar. This is actually a natural. This provides fruit notes in our coffee. This is a really delicious, a little bit more expensive than those other ones. This one is a sorted coffee. You'll see that a lot of uniformity there with the natural coffee. This is going to bring some more sweet notes. And then one other component that we use is this El Salvador, which is also a natural, which I'm a huge fan of. I love this coffee. Large bean. You can see the different colors in there, guys. You're gonna see that's actually part of the cherry. You see that dark part? That's still part of the fruit hanging on. So it's pretty cool. And so you roast it with part of the fruit hanging on. Another sweet coffee. So I have my chocolate, my body. I go into a little more acidity, and then I get some fruit and brightness from those other coffees. And then we top it off with a local coffee. We'll taste the house blend. That's the components of the house blend, which are subject to change based on, like coffee is a live entity. So we'll switch these coffees out depending on the time of year because we want the freshest coffee. But once again, that's why we do the cupping, so we can really understand to stay in that. What is Kai Coffee's standard for flavor, roast profile, so on and so forth. Guys, these are different roasts. This is a certain size of bowl. We put 10 grams of coffee in this. Code right here is our PR code, which we can look up on our software, and the roast date, profile, all of that. That also goes on our coffee bags, so we can track everything, of course. And I'll just measure that out. Cool, like that. And we're gonna grind it. What he did there is he just purged the grinder because he's gonna purge every time because we don't wanna have a different coffee inside the grinder when he's doing it. Very specific. We wanna make sure we're accurate with with the flavors. And then you fill the water all the way up. There's a specific size of bowl. And then we're steeping it for about 4 minutes. Similar to a French press, and then start tasting it a few times as it cools. We are gonna score the coffee. We usually rotate a blind cupping with a score. I think it might be funner to do a blind cupping with you guys, so you guys can see, without knowing what it is, what your preferences are. So we do go in a counterclockwise. We're gonna start here, but the stages of cupping, and when we're scoring it, we score all these different sections. The first thing is going to be a dry smell, which is fragrance. You can either pick it up and smell. Some people do this. Up to you. And all I want you to do is just get an idea of the differences. It'll be like, oh, that's there and that's there. You'll get like fruit, something, and then it won't be there. But then it also will correlate with your palate as you're tasting it, which is a really good component. You know, we taste a lot with our nose, right?
It's hard to pinpoint what the differences are in between each one. Like right now, all I could tell is one is a stronger, more robust smell versus a lighter note.
My only goal for you today is just that.
Okay.
Just to totally recognize differences.
Really? I feel like these were the strongest smells.
And it'll change so much with the water too, guys. It'll change so much. What we do with the water, Steven and Sean are gonna completely fill the bowls now. We're gonna let it steep for 4 minutes. It creates a crust on the top, and we're gonna break the crust, then we'll get the aroma. So that was fragrance, now we'll do aroma. So all we do here, guys, and this crust is not quite as thick as this one, probably because the coffee is a little bit drier as they went in, but what you're doing is you're pushing away and bringing towards. That's called breaking the crust. So I'll ask Felix to do that here. So get down, push it, and then bring it towards your nose.
Oh yeah, it smells completely different.
Totally. And then what Sean and Steven are gonna do now is they're gonna clean off this, and then we'll let it cool maybe another minute, then we'll do our slurping. Guys, this is something that takes a little bit of time to develop. Just think of slurping soup through the spoon. What we're trying to do is slurp through your teeth and aerate your entire palate if you can. Above and below, just kind of aerates it out. There's some accomplished slurps. You guys are like, what are you talking about? We have a colleague or former colleague who, it sounds like a whistle. Just the speed you're trying to aerate your entire palate.
Wow.
And then just dip there.
I feel I'm gonna choke.
All I want you guys to do today is I want you to taste these and tell me what your favorites are. You're like, yeah, you do whatever you want.
You should see the reaction that people have. They're like,
That's peaberry.
This is like the more tart.
Oh, that's ka'u.
I like the XF.
If that's the peaberry honey, I'm stoked, but I think it's the private reserve.
That was my second favorite one now.
So that means this is Nick.
I thought this was Nick.
That is. Nice work. That's great. Yeah.
Honey.
And this is fantastic. This is delicious. That's better than last week. These two, the ka'u and the Nicaraguan.
Yeah, and then your favorite was?
The XF, yeah.
Nice work. Two of my favorite coffees. Well done.
Of these coffees,
Yeah.
which is the most expensive, would you say, or exclusive?
This one.
Oh,
That one?
you have the expensive cake.
Private reserve here was 31. And the ka'u is 25. And the Nicaraguan is 3.
Wow.
Which goes to show you, it's a good thing. In Hawaii, being a coffee roaster, the automatic tendency for any guest coming in your shop is, why don't you have 100%? I mean, of course, we sell it on the shelf. It is expensive. It's a very intricate process. That's the challenge for a local roaster, because we grow coffee in Hawaii. It's less than 0.5% of the world's production. Extremely hard to get all year round. And like I said, if we were to make our lattes out of it, we'd be selling expensive lattes. That's the challenge. You have to teach our team to be like, hey, this is really great. The house blend, which has Nick, Brazil, El Salvador, Myanmar, and ka'u, is a really great blend coffee. We're kind of constantly convincing people that there's other great coffee in the world. But I love that you liked the Nicaraguan the best. That's one of my favorite, always consistently one of my favorites on the table. How was the first cupping? It's good.
It was fun. Actually,
fun, yeah?
Like, especially when you don't know what you're tasting, so there's no bias.
Right.
You know, like you can't
Blind
just-
cuppings are great. And it also helps all of us calibrate our palates, because we want to be in agreement on what we're doing here. So we know we got a little bit of work left to do on the ka'u. My takeaway from the Myanmar and from the peaberry honey is that they need age. I think you guys really enjoy watching the process of roast. It's about 14 minutes.
Okay.
I can kind of walk you guys through it. I'm gonna weigh the coffee out now. So we're doing the ka'u, which is the current Hawaiian component in our house blend. The drip coffee you drink in our store. This is my profile here, guys. So it has my charge temp, watermark, of gas. So this is a coffee that is the local coffees that heat and airflow permeates them. They're sensitive. You don't adjust the gas high to get to where you want to start. You do it at the mark you're going to be roasting, so it doesn't hit it and shock it. A lot of times with coffee, what can happen if you hit it too hard because you're trying to reach a goal in your profile, you go too hot, you'll pump it full of heat and you'll scorch it, or if you go too long, you'll bake it. So it's just finding a balance between starting off, especially with these coffees that absorb heat and airflow. We're dealing with rotation, we're dealing with heat, and we're dealing with airflow. Three components in the roasting. See it in the sight glass starting. And now I'm just kind of taking notes, trying something a little bit different with this coffee right now because I wasn't stoked on it was absorbing a little bit too much of the heat. The body was a bit strong. I'll look at everything, I'll smell it. This is a very green stage, and then you'll start your crystallization in a few minutes, and that's where you'll see a lot of chaff coming out as it heats up. 256, 250, 260. You'll start the yellowing process. We'll turn to browning, and browning will get darker. That's the Maillard effect. It's just the crystallization of the sugars. Very important part in roasting to where your heat and airflow are out during that time.
Where's this roaster from? It's
San Francisco. It's actually made in Nevada now, but it's one of the few American-made roasters. I kind of grew up on this roaster. Cinnamon stage. So you can hear it expanding. It's where a lot of flavor is developed, a lot of body, a lot of sweetness during this time after first crack. Even it out. They use a broom. I'm old school. Just use my hands. This air is pulling down. You want the coffee to cool as fast and evenly as possible so it doesn't, like a steak, you want it to rest. It's got a lot of airflow just pulling that heat out. You don't want to continue to roast. So I pull it off this metal piece. I'm definitely going to cup it in the next 2 hours.
Based on that template, if this is successful, you will save that.
That'll be the profile. Then once again, but that's something that's ever changing. We change roast profiles probably every 3 months. So guys, if you can feel this is completely cooled off now. So that only took a couple of minutes to fully cool. Wow. It's totally cold, yeah.
Feel the air.
Yeah, you feel that air because you want to stop that process as fast as possible. Like you take that steak off and set it on the cutting board, let it rest. We want to suck the heat out of it as fast as possible because our discharge temp on that was right around 400 degrees, which is a light roast coffee. You get anything past like 425, 427, it'll be more medium roast. And you get it past that, you get those real dark roast coffee.
Thank you so much for having us. We had such a great time. We learned so much.
Yeah, I'm so glad. And I'm glad that now you guys have a little bit of an understanding of what goes into our business, and everybody else does as well. Do you guys drink coffee at home?
Yes, we do.
We have a
What do you have?
Rebel.
A little Breville, espresso Breville.
Oh, okay, so you do espresso?
Yeah,
okay, I'll give you Spro. This is our espresso blend.
Oh, thank you.
And do you guys drink, what do you make?
You should just do Americanos.
Do Americanos, and then you just pull like a long black, kind of nice. And you don't put anything in it?
Syrup sometimes.
Do you want to take some of the macadamia nut?
Oh
yeah.
Goodness.
Oh yeah.
We love Pono potions actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great with all the flavors.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
What would you recommend the best way to appreciate coffee?
I mean, I always prefer pour over because I like clean, bright notes. I love espresso as well, but my favorite is pour over, I think. Pour over. Especially with the local coffees. And I just love drip coffee.
Alright, Foodie Ohana, that's going to wrap it up on today's episode featuring Kai Coffee, a locally owned roastery and coffee here in Honolulu.
As mentioned, they do have many coffee shops throughout the island, so make sure you check them out. We did get a coffee to go. We had to, of course. After seeing all the process, how much hard work and dedication goes into making one of these coffees, we definitely had to take one to go.
Again, big mahalo to Sam at Kai Coffee for explaining the intricate details involved in making this coffee. And of course, if you guys like us featuring locally owned businesses and giving you guys a behind the scenes look, let us know in the comments down below.
And cheers to you guys as well. Thanks for being our Foodie Ohana. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's take a sip of our coffee.
Oh man, so satisfying. It makes the coffee we make at home taste junk.
Thank you guys so much for coming along on today's foodie adventure. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below to join our Foodie Ohana. And we'll see you guys on our next episode.
Right, Foodie Ohana, until the next foodie adventure, explore your inner foodie. Peace out.
Bye guys.
Let me know when.
Go.
Have you guys ever wondered?
Okay, go.
Such a small, a large. You have to edit that out. Don't do that. They always say I look serious. I'm serious. I'm friendly. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Should I start over? Or you can. I'm sure.
No.
I can
We edit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott came over and was like,
We'll put that in the bloopers.
"Bruh."
From this to make coffee such as this. This
One
is
more
sound
time.
good.
Hey, thanks for doing this, guys. This is
yeah,
really
of
cool.
course, of course.
We were really, this is our little, kind of our private hub of everything, and the team's really excited about today. So we want to have everything, it's very picturesque in here, but we're like, hey, this is a huge deal for us to get some of this exposure and really talk about what we love, because this is what this whole team, this is why we get up in the morning, and this is our lunch bike.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's part of the deal. We go pick up lunch every day, but we love being on Kapahulu because we have so many great food choices everywhere.
And we will see you guys on our next episode.
So just to kind of go into process a little bit, and just tell me when to stop. I can go on. I can keep going on all this.
Oh, no, that's good.
But
Thank you so much for having
yeah,
us.
thank you. Is this the outro?
Yes, this is the
Oh,
outro.
sorry. Yeah, get out of here. You don't smile enough. Thank you.